From frozen Alaska villages
That was a battle.
to the frontier outposts of Montana, these are 10 of the most isolated places in the United States, starting with Matinus Isle. Matinus Isle sits about 20 miles off the mainland. No bridges connected, limited ferry service, and sometimes it's canceled for days due to high winds or rough seas. Because of the nature of this place, planes land only on a small strip, with winter weather making flying almost impossible. This has made islanders rely heavily on lobstering and fishing. The worst is that there are no large grocery stores and not even a single major medical facility. Residents always have to prepare carefully for winter, stocking supplies and planning for emergencies, because when storms roll in, the island can be cut off entirely. But if you think being cut off by rough seas is extreme, wait until you see a town where darkness can last for over 2 months. Utavik is positioned right along the Arctic Ocean. There is no road connecting Utavik to any other city. The nearest highway is hundreds of miles away, but it doesn't change anything since the region is frozen, icy, and blanketed in snow for much of the year. In the winter, the sun disappears for more than 60 straight days, and darkness covers the town. Let's not even talk about how winds roar across the tundra. Immediately after that, the temperature drops to such harsh levels that supplies can only arrive by plane or by barge once the summer ice melts. This is why many residents rely heavily on cultural traditions like fishing and hunting, because grocery store food is expensive and limited. Utavik feels like another world, but it's not the only town on the edge of isolation. Kutsubu sits on the Baldwin Peninsula, surrounded by water, snow, and tundra. Like Utavik, there are no roads leading in or out. You have to fly to reach it. Aside from its unique blend of modern living and deep Alaskan native culture, residents fish for salmon, gather berries, hunt caribou, and maintain traditions passed down for centuries. The problem with this town is that winter storms can be severe. Winds that knock out power and snow that buries buildings. In the summer, the midnight sun lights up the sky, and families travel across the tundra by boat. Although the town has a small selection of stores, almost everything is still being flown in. Even getting provisions from its nearest city is a long flight away. But isolation doesn't only happen in the frozen north alone. The Isle de Jean-Charles has been disappearing for decades due to rising sea levels, sinking land, erosion, and hurricanes. And the only road leading to the island often floods or washes away, and many homes have been abandoned. The community has been called one of the first climate refugees in the country, because those who remain live balancing between land and water. The challenge here is not just isolation, it's a threat to survival even though the landscape changes every year. As storms intensify and the Gulf pushes inland, the islands retreat bit by bit. But as the Isle de Jean-Charles is slowly disappearing, Adok is not left out as well. Adok is located at the junction of the Pacific Ocean and the Bering Sea, where storms form and the weather can change instantly. This town sits near the end of the Aleutian chain, closer to Russia than most American cities. It's already disheartening that reaching Adok requires a flight that many airlines don't offer daily. But what you have to deal with is when bad weather hits, be assured that even those flights could be delayed for days. Did you know that the island was once home to a massive military base? But after it closed in the 1990s, the population collapsed. Ever since, only a small group of residents have lived among the abandoned homes, empty barracks, and rusting warehouses. Of all the things that would bother residents the most is the faraway hospital, coupled with the fact that even the rich families find supplies very expensive. And just like the weather, the mail delivery system here is unpredictable, since planes can't always land in storms. But for Jordan, the story is quite different. Jordan sits in Garfield County, one of the least populated counties in all of Montana. It's surrounded by ranch land, rolling hills, and long stretches of highway. But you can't find gas stations. The nearest Walmart is more than 3 hours away. Most of the time, you're scared to go out during winter. And if you're unlucky, you'll find roads closed due to drifting snow. And since selling your service is unreliable, many local families have relied on livestock, small stores, and neighborly support. Things are so bad that a simple car breakdown can become a major emergency. But let's move on and talk about Polebridge. Polebridge is located near the edge of Glacier National Park and is known for having no cell service and no power lines. And that's really not news, since the town's electricity basically comes from generators and solar panels. But that's the least of the problems. The main road is gravel and becomes nearly impassable when heavy snow hits. Although the population is tiny, the community is so tight-knit that the small store and bakery there have become famous among adventurous travelers. But let's leave Polebridge and move on to Marfa, where black bears and grizzly bears wander the area. Marfa is best known for its art installations and mysterious lights that flicker on the horizon at night. But despite the growing interest from tourists, Marfa is remote in every sense. For starters, the nearest major airport is hours away. Supply trucks travel long distances to reach the community, and unlike other towns, summer here is very hot. For winter, just get yourself prepared, because you'll be surprised at how cold it can be. At night, the sky is so dark that you can see the Milky Way stretching across the horizon. Even though Marfa can be challenging, many artists and travelers still come here to escape the noise of the modern world. But if you thought that was bad, then wait until you learn about Turlingua. Turlingua was once a mining town, but when the mine closed, it became a ghost town. Over time, people returned, building and establishing small businesses. Today, Turlingua is known for its unique culture, but the problem is there is no easy access to major stores. Starting from the nearest hospital, which is hours away from other important areas of the town, you always find yourself calculating your next move. For many people who move to Turlingua to escape city life, they now have no choice but to adapt to extreme heat, limited water, and long distances. Everyday life in Turlingua is perfect for people who love solitude. But Quemado is not as perfect. Quemado is a rural community in western New Mexico that feels frozen in time. It's as if life moves slowly and your journey never ends. Because how do you explain that the nearest major city is hours away? As basic as passing on emergency information is, it takes forever because cell service is limited. For most people who live here, ranching remains the backbone of the local economy, as setting up a business seems like an impossible thing to do. Life in these towns can sometimes be peaceful and other times quite challenging. While most people might never live in places like these, it's a reminder of just how powerful distance and solitude can really be. Have you ever lived in any of these towns? Let us know in the comment section below. While you're at it, like, share, and subscribe to this channel for more videos like this. Thank you for watching.